This is going to be a multi-part series on how we do peritoneal dialysis manuals, and otherwise known as CAPD. Stay tuned and see what it's all about. Okay, so you see I've repositioned my stuff ready for the manual exchange. I've hung up my solution bag on the back of the dresser door there, and then you can just see I have things set up. That's my cycler, and we'll talk more about that in a different vlog. I put my things in place in front of me, and then the drain bag's on the floor. Okay, so I've repositioned myself and everything I need to do my manual exchange. Again, if you've been touching a lot of things, it's a good practice to go ahead and wash your hands again with soap and warm water. But at minimum, you want to go ahead and sanitize your hands because you touch different things in different areas. Just get used to this practice and do it a lot because it helps you prevent any infections and uncleanness and peritonitis. So before I connect, I have my PD catheter. So here's my PD catheter. This part here is a transfer set that gets changed about every 6 months at most clinics protocols, and your PD nurse does that for you. You don't do that yourself. Here's the mini cap that you change out. You take that off when you connect to your drain bag, and then also your clamp transfer set. And then your catheter is the part that the transfer set's connected to, and then your exit site. Do a different video in terms of how to clean the exit site, in terms of how I was trained to do it. Your clinic may have varying procedures, just like they might have a different procedure for how to do manuals. That's slightly different, so definitely follow your clinic's procedure. If you have questions, contact your PD nurse. That's what they're there for. And they should also have an on-call PD nurse 24/7 that's available to help you out in case there's anything, especially with new folks out there. So I sanitized my hands. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put on my mask so I'm not breathing all over things that I've already cleaned. Once I put on my mask, I have my alcohol pad. I'm going to clean my transfer set just on the outside all around, because when I put tape on it, when I touch it, those are possible contaminants. So I just want to do that before I actually connect to my new solution bag and volume. Try to have a clean surface as much as possible when I'm doing my exchanges or when I'm doing my treatments. Some clinics use Alka-Vast to clean the PD transfer set and the catheter. When I was initially trained to do everything 5.5 years ago, back in 2014, they didn't use Alka-Vast. They didn't give that to us, so they just taught us to use alcohol pads, which often works just as well. When I clean my exit sites, I use Accept. And then when I clean my catheter, I do use Alka-Vast. So now that they provided that for me. There's some variations again, depending on clinic protocols. And then you saw my little blue drape bag that I've already put on my lap and sort of tucked into my shorts here. I'm ready to go. Clean, sanitize the area here. On the manual solution bag, again, there's 2 lines. Here's the transfer set patient connector. I am gonna go ahead, make sure that the clamps are on and clamped so there's no seepage. The first step is to drain. So we're going to connect and drain. And before I break this frangible here, I pull off the little plug here. It's a rubber plug. Some people collect it. They make our projects. I use it for something else that you'll see in a minute. Okay, so I hold it with my left hand. I don't want to cross-contaminate or cross my arms over each other. So I hold it with my left solution. Take some practice, and then my fingers here allows me to easily reach the transfer set without touching anything and turn and disconnect that, okay? When I do that, I just bring the cap down, let it drop. I don't worry about it because it's contaminated, dirty product that's at this point anyways. Now I very carefully, slowly put the 2 sides together, put my transfer set into the patient connector. And you want to pay attention to this, not really do videos or be distracted by other people. I have my door closed. I have my little fan off during the disconnection process to avoid contaminants in the air that drops while this is being exposed. Okay, while that's open, I take another alcohol pad, okay? And it's pretty sterile at this point, but I know sometimes the betadine from the mini caps leaves on the alcohol pad. So I like to use the alcohol pad to just sort of clean that around and sort of be careful with it. But you don't want to do this before you put the two pieces together, because it's more likely that you might touch the end of the transfer set that's exposed, and then that could possibly generate peritonitis. So you don't want to touch it when it's not connected, but once you screw it in and connect it yourself, this is pretty safe for me, in my opinion. Now, again, your clinic procedures might differ. Your PD nurse might tell you not to do that, so listen to them, okay? Do what you're told from your clinic, because they have also the experience from their clinic. That's the best practice for them. This is what I found with my clinic in terms of best practice for me. At this point, I could open the transfer set, the clamp on the transfer set. I break the frangible on the patient drain and fill line here. And then I figure out which line. This top line is the fill line, so that's when the solutions come into me. And then this one is the drain line. That's where the solution goes out. So once I break the frangible, I could unclamp drain line, and you should see a little bit of solution and different things come out. Sometimes the betadine solution is a little bit dark. Some people mistake that with blood when this first drain comes out. So it's not blood, it's the betadine solution from your mini caps. So nothing usually to worry about there. So you come in, do your drain first, then you clamp your drain line, unclamp your fill line, and then the solution starts flowing in through your transfer set and catheter into your peritoneal cavity. That allows you to do the fill solution and then dwell for whatever your prescription time for the dwelling is. And it depends on the PET test in terms of how quickly or slowly you absorb. So check with your PD clinic on that, PD nurse on that, and ask for a PET test. If they don't give it to you, usually within the first month of the peritoneal dialysis, they do run that test to make sure that your treatment prescription is correct. They're not over-prescribing a dwell time where you might end up absorbing a lot of solution, which sort of is counterproductive. I'm a fast transporter, so most of my dwells are no longer than an hour, whether it's manual or on the cycler that I use. So we'll come back to you, show you the disconnect process shortly. By the way, my friends Mickey, the sorcerer Mickey and the regular Mickey in the back there, are joining me tonight, so watching how we do peritoneal dialysis manually. Hope you enjoyed this part of the series on peritoneal dialysis, CAPD manuals. Stay tuned for other future vlogs on other parts of the CAPD process. If you have any questions or concerns, go ahead and comment down below. If this is the first time you're joining me at Kidney Journeys, hit the like button, and also click on the little bell so you get notification on future vlogs that come out. Thanks for joining me at Kidney Journeys. My name is Kyle Chang.